Hey everyone, so massive news just broke about 45 minutes ago. Gamers Nexus and Jay's 2 cents, they had a video. EVGA is stopping working with Nvidia. RTX 4000 is canceled for EVGA GPUs. This is absolutely shocking because EVGA is an exclusive partner for Nvidia. I even made a video today, a few hours ago. I wasn't planning on making this video, but I just saw the news about 45 minutes ago, and this is an absolute shock to the industry. You guys can check out Gamers Nexus and Jay's 2 cents. They're the one that broke the news. Apparently, the sources are directly the EVGA CEO. So this isn't a rumor. This is something that has happened. I'm going to be referencing notes from Gamers Nexus. So I even have them right here. So the number one thing, EVGA will cease all video card manufacturing operations. So I mean, that's like the biggest news you could possibly have. Like the company's just stopping. Like this is like the video that I made today was things were getting worse with GPUs. Yes, I thought prices were going to get worse. I didn't think they were just going to stop and cancel it. Even me that I follow this, I didn't see this coming. This is like shocking. This really is quite shocking. Let's see what else they said. So existing customers are going to be supported by EVGA's warranty. So that's something that is the absolute backbone of NVIDIA GPUs, not even EVGA. I know a lot of people, myself included, that sometimes will specifically want an EVGA GPU because the warranty is pretty legendary. They always cover, even if you put water blocks on. I've had water blocked GPUs that broke after a few months and they replaced them. They have basically the best GPU warranty in the industry. So a lot of you guys may be thinking now, if EVGA, which Gamers Nexus said 80% of their revenue is from Nvidia, the GPUs, they have other things like keyboards, but the GPUs are definitely, if you go on their website, that's the massive thing that they sell, and exclusive to Nvidia. What's going to happen to their company? Like, you have to really think about the employees and everything else and everybody's warranty. Like some of these GPUs people paid for, extended warranties. I just got a power supply actually in the box from EVGA, and they're supposed to have a 10-year warranty. Is the company going to be around in 10 years? I mean, who knows at this point? Let's see what else it says here. EVGA has withheld inventory to help replace and fulfill cards as needed. So according to Gamers Nexus, they're not making RTX 4000. Like, that's canceled. They're going to sell through whatever RTX 3000 that they currently have, the inventory, which of course is a lot. I mean, that's one of the major problems. We'll talk about why this is happening, but that's definitely one of the massive problems. They just have way too many GPUs, RTX 3000. According to Gamers Nexus, they started making some samples of RTX 4000, but obviously those are now canceled. They don't plan to go ahead with Nvidia when Nvidia finally announces these products. So they plan to hold back some inventory so they can take care of RMAs, but for how long? How many years? If the company ends up being insolvent, remember they already had layoffs this year, sort of downsizing. Now we didn't really get the full picture. Gamers Nexus said, according to the Nvidia, EVGA CEO, that April was when the decision was made, or thereabouts, that EVGA was no longer going to make Nvidia products, and only a few really high up people would have known that. So, not including a lot of Nvidia employees or EVGA employees that are just regular employees. So April was a long time ago, very long time, and we're only finding out about this literally a week before RTX 4000 is about to be announced. So let's go on here. So then EVGA said that they expect to run out of RTX 30 series graphics cards by the end of the year. So they're going to sell what they have, and that's going to be pretty much it. They're not making any more graphics cards. Can't believe I'm hearing that. That's shocking. I mean, I love EVGA graphics cards. The Kingpin, 4013. They've been one of the favorite every single generation, so that's pretty crazy. EVGA is not selling its business, and they're staying in business. I mean, that's something that even they don't know, right? I mean, who's going to tell what's going to happen during the next few years? EVGA will not expand into new product categories. So they don't have other plans. It's not like they're going to be an orange juice company or a crypto company or something like that. So they're going to stay with GPUs, but what are they going to do? I mean, Nvidia is the biggest GPU manufacturer, in the world. AMD, maybe. Intel, they haven't even really produced any GPUs unless there's some secret plan. But even Intel Arc GPUs were canceled. Moore's Law is Dead said this a few days ago, that their lineup is canceled. So what's going on here? Are GPUs being canceled entirely? Are things really getting that bad? I mean, I'm always the first one to sort of point stuff out that's happening, but even I'm surprised at how massive, I'm almost like out of words, like how massive the things that are happening are. Like to cancel, talking about Intel, to cancel graphics cards that they spent billions of dollars developing, that's pretty massive. And then EVGA, that's like saying Nvidia is out of business almost, even though they're going to sell their GPU still. According to Gamers Nexus, this shouldn't affect Nvidia itself, but EVGA is a pretty big partner. I mean, look at how many people have their GPUs. It has to affect them somehow, right? Especially the US. I think that's the biggest market for EVGA GPUs. At one point, it's all that people could get last year. Like that was the most common GPU for the 13s, 3090s, 3080s, 3070s. That was the one you saw at Micro Center. That was the one that on Newegg, that was definitely one of the most popular ones. So there has to be some effect here. And who's to say that EVGA is the last one to have problems with Nvidia, huh? If they're having problems, what about Asus and MSI, which are not exclusive? They're bigger companies in many ways, but the relationship, if this is coming out now, we could have some serious issues with other, GPU companies as well. So then, according to Gamers Nexus here, EVGA has not considered AMD or Intel partnerships. So that's going to be speculation at this point. The only thing we know is that they're stopping, Nvidia's relationship, which is already some pretty major news. And then remember how many people will actually be affected by this. According to Gamers Nexus, he says that, employees will be relocated, but they already, downsized a lot of their company this year. I forgot how many they laid off, maybe something like 20% earlier in the year. If they lose their main business, which is Nvidia GPUs, what's everybody going to do? Like, I'm curious. Like, I don't know. If they're not going into a new product line, are they making their own GPU? Of course not. So this doesn't look too good at all. So what are some of the reasons that this happened? I mean, I talk about on this channel, the GPU market's definitely very bad right now. Ethereum just went to proof of stake, which destroyed mining. Like it's basically, negative in every single coin. Like that's, miners are going to flood the market right now. Maybe EVGA can see that, and they know it's going to be impossible to sell a lot of what they have. It's going to take them to the end of the year to sell out of RTX 3000. That's how slowly it's going to go. Remember, last year, they couldn't even keep them in stock. Now it's going to take, a considerable amount of time for them to do that. So according to EVGA, they've been disrespected by Nvidia. That means in their relationship, they're not treated right. They don't know the exact price that things are going to be. According to Gamers Nexus, EVGA is losing a significant amount of money on every of the, especially the high-end GPUs. They're losing hundreds of dollars on every GPU that they sell. That's not going to be a very sustainable business if on everything that you sell, you're losing hundreds of dollars. So according to Gamers Nexus, there's a massive problem with respect and having good business practices between EVGA and Nvidia. Of course, two of the major ones are the prices that Nvidia sets for the chips that EVGA has to buy to make their GPU. Obviously, it's too high if they're losing so much money on them, especially when the market goes bad. The other problem that he mentioned was that, of course, Nvidia sells their own founder editions that are much cheaper than EVGA GPUs. So in a way, they're supplying them, but they're also their competitor in the market because Nvidia, after all, is still selling these. Of course, Best Buy is going to be the place that you can find both, actually, EVGA and exclusively Founders Edition. You can't go to Micro Center or Newegg or anywhere else and get a Founders Edition. In Europe, usually you'll buy it from Nvidia directly. That's a little bit different, but at least in the US and Canada, I think it's only Best Buy. So Nvidia does undercut its partners, I guess, by selling those GPUs. So there's a lot of like a business relationship problem there. It's obviously not working for a company to end their relationship with, the major company that supplies them. I mean, it's basically like saying they're willing to kill the company and not go forward. I mean, what are they going to do without GPUs from Nvidia? They're an exclusive partner. I'm still in awe that this has happened. This is basically like saying they're only going to sell power supplies and keyboards now. They're going to have to change the game a little bit. I mean, their power supplies are great. I use them myself, but they're not really into anything else that's interesting. Their keyboards are just run of the mill, and the mice and things like that. Nothing interesting there. The power supplies are great. They could probably make a small business, smaller than GPUs, of just selling power supplies. And if they wanted to do accessories like keyboards, I guess they would have to, start making custom or more interesting keyboards aside from just, a typical, straight keyboard. I'm just trying to, think of some ideas that they could stay in business and be profitable. But when you take such a massive component of their business, and according to Gamers Nexus, over 80% of their business, very difficult to see how they're gonna, stick along. So it looks like the last 2 years actually did a lot of damage to these companies. You would think because everything was going up so much, gamer demand, the crypto mining demand. Now, as soon as the economy got bad and Ethereum went away, all of that demand disappeared. We see all the skeletons sort of come out of the closet now. These companies were, they were selling a lot back then, but as soon as things took a dip, it didn't take that long, a few months, where things started taking a dip earlier on in the year, and it looks like it destroyed these companies, literally. Like EVGA's main business looks destroyed right now. Of course, Nvidia had terrible, earnings reports, really, really bad compared to what they had before, but Nvidia is a much bigger company. They're worth, billions and billions of dollars. They can sort of take that hit until they come up with something else. They're in different industries like artificial intelligence and workstations, a lot of mobile GPUs. It's not, they're not going to go away. They're not going to stop making GPUs. But EVGA, that's basically the majority of their company. That's what they did, is make GPUs. So they're a smaller company, and you see how they got affected as soon as things got bad between Ethereum and the economy being bad. Basically, they got wiped out. I mean, what else? They're stopping the next generation GPU. There's no way to sugarcoat this. This is like Armageddon. I even said in one of my previous videos that an extinction level event, but I didn't think it was this bad. I just thought GPU prices were going to be really bad. People weren't going to buy. I didn't think companies were going to, especially not a company like EVGA, which you associate with Nvidia. I mean, many people, that's their go-to GPU. Read on the forums. Everybody loves EVGA GPUs. Of course, they had some issues with quality control, but they always fixed them. They're not going to be popular with everybody, but they're exclusive with Nvidia. So this is shocking, and I wonder what else we're going to see, not only from this story. Remember to stay subscribed. As soon as I learn more, I'll give my take on it. We'll see where the GPU market is going, and now we really need to have some good insight because it's unpredictable. Like this, nobody saw this coming. We saw bad GPU sales and things like that, but nobody saw EVGA get out of the game. Who else is next? What's going to happen? Is Asus going to have a problem now? MSI? Or are they going to pick up the slack? Are they going to buy all of the GPUs EVGA would have had? I can't imagine their relationship is any better. If EVGA was an exclusive partner, Nvidia probably had the best relationship with them, with EVGA. With the other places, they're bigger companies, so they can sort of, move around a little bit easier, and they don't just depend on GPUs. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Very, very, bad news. Of course, for the people that work at EVGA, probably a lot of people will be fired because there's not going to be anything to do. So definitely not good news at all. And this video I just made quickly now after hearing about this. Wasn't even planning to do it today, but I wanted to get my insight out into it because it's going to take months to hash this out and figure out where GPUs and PC gaming are going to go from here. This is certainly major, major news. So write a comment down below. I want to know what you guys think. Did you see this coming? I'm really curious what you guys think. So I'll check you guys out on the next video. Hopefully we have some better news. All right, take care.